How's it going, crypto community? So, many of you may be in distress after watching my last video, which was debunking any hopes of this COMEX 589 coming to pass June 6th. So, let's first talk about the fact that while this space is still very young and there is still many secrets that are occurring behind, secret meetings and dealings that are occurring behind closed doors, and things that are not being said to us that we should absolutely be beyond excited for. Many things that we are told are going to turn out to be absolutely utter nonsense, right? But that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're still investing in the best digital asset in this space. We don't need to worry about hype around some magical readjustment that's going to occur as opposed to just allowing liquidity to flow into the market naturally once these corridors open up all these financial institutions open up all these corridors between each other, right? So yeah, don't allow yourself to feel defeated because you think that you had invested in this thing that's going to make you rich next week, tomorrow, right? Because if you're patient, as I said in that video, it will make you rich. If you're persistent in your investment strategy, in your dedication to this marketplace, you will absolutely be successful. The more time you spend researching this space, the more likely you are to be successful as an investor within this space, right? So let's be as clear as possible what the Jade Martian, Jade, the XRP Martian currency channel is. And that's a channel dedicated to finding out what's true in this space, because I have a lot of my money invested into this space, so much so that I don't feel comfortable showing you my face. That's why I have this pseudonym and this false identity, the little green man that is Jade Martian, right? So, the point of this channel, like I was getting at though, is to find out the real truth behind this project Ripple, this company Ripple Labs, and the project that they have built upon, that we know as XRP, but that has rapidly evolved into this massive flourishing system that includes a interledger protocol system that helps, and also this Cobalt system and this Codius system and these systems on systems, Coil and everything. This thing is, it's growing so rapidly, and it's mutating beyond just a currency. And that's what's so important, and that's what so many people are missing, is that we're beyond just which currency is going to win. If you're not looking beyond the currencies to the platforms that are now being developed upon these currencies, you have no clue who's going to win, because you're only focused on the currencies, right? So that's actually why I've actually put time into into Stephen Thomas's project, AMA, not so much for Ripple, but because of what I was going to learn about the interledger. That's why a lot of my articles have been more focused on ILP than actually anything regarding how the XRP ledger works, right? We're beyond just worrying about which cryptocurrency is the best, has the best underlying technology. All right, that question's already solved for me. I spent a year researching that before now, and that led me to XRP, right? That's why I'm here. And it's not just because it's faster and cheaper, but because it's more energy efficient, and in many ways it's more truly decentralized, and it's decentralized in a manner that is actually necessary for sustained human society, right? Because the reality is there's a lot of good meaning but very not enlightened individuals in our world, let's say, right? We all know this. At least half of the world is relatively, they're not listening to this channel, right? Like, let's be clear. You're listening to this channel, you are almost certainly above the curve, right? To some degree. I'm not gonna inflate your ego or my own by stating how far above the curve you probably are based upon how early you are still to this technology, right? So if you wonder why the price is so low and why it's staying flat still, it's because you're still so early. Seriously though, your potential, my potential, everybody in this ecosystem, even in the quote, what I like to call the shill coins, I'm not gonna drop the S-bomb anymore. I'm gonna try and start monitoring my language going forward, because I know that that's important to some people out there listening. But I'm a passionate individual, so when something offends me or whenever I get really vehement about something, I was also a sailor, so former U.S. Navy, so it's kind of, and a truck driver. It's like I was just cursed twice over. As a former truck driver, shout out to Bitcoin Ben, dude. Your Twitter video you did the other day, brilliant, right? But this is more of just a shout out to the community as encouragement, right? Like, yeah, our project is still early in its days, and we're not seeing a lot of profit, right? Bitcoin's risen about twice, it's more than doubled in the last, it's almost, it's basically tripled at this point in the last, 5 months now, and XRP's done next to nothing. I mean, we're basically where we were at the beginning of the year. So, a lot of people are getting impatient, but the thing is that we know that XRP is a far more stable trading currency. Its price consolidation ranges are a lot tighter than Bitcoin's, but when those ranges are finally broke, that's when XRP just goes loony bin, like it just goes stupid high. I've said in my last video that I like to follow really intelligent people, and so I'm gonna start doing a few of these videos where, and this is actually why you see on your screen right now if you're looking. Thanks for proving everyone wrong, Elon Musk, right? So this is an interview that I'm gonna show you the beginning of, and it's of Elon Musk prior to SpaceX having successfully launched its first rocket, right? And so I want you to, most of you are going to be in his shoes because we talk about Moon all the time. So we are Elon. Put yourself in his shoes and just think about it with your investment in XRP, and then think where SpaceX is now, right?
People who've been in the rocketry business for decades, who say about you that you don't know what you don't know.
They will always doubt you. And who are they? Those who doubt everything, right? Oh, the internet. That'll never work. Oh, those Kardashians, who would ever watch that? MySpace? They're all social predators. They're just rapists, and nobody will ever date anybody from online. What? Nobody will meet online. Facebook's dumb. It could never beat MySpace. MySpace lets me customize my profile. I could go on. And I'm sure that many of you can go on. Many of us have said things. A few of those things I said were things I said, you know. Twitter's stupid. I can't actually write a thorough response. There's no way for me to write anything intellectual with just 100 and some characters when with the original like 125 or whatever it was. And then they had to expand to 155, and now we're wherever we are. Right? That's restriction of that's constriction of language. Why do you think you're on YouTube right now? Because you can't get any kind of feedback on Twitter anymore. And nobody listens on Facebook. All they do is troll. So we're all here. Well, that's why I'm here, trying to present myself, because I've tried every other medium to reach people, to help people understand what's really going on. Because I like to do a lot of research. And this is basically what I do all day, is I sit around and listen to super intelligent people talk about their hobbies and what they're interested in, who they're interested in, what they're investing in right now, what they see as scary, what they're seeing as a positive future thing. And I listen to as many of them as I can, all throughout the time, all the time. And then I do the same when it comes to crypto. I listen to most of my crypto things on YouTube now. I'm kind of I listen to most things on 2 times speed. And I know I talk slow, so here's the thing. If you think I talk too slow, just turn my speed up, right? Turn me up to ×2. And then you'll be like, whoa, this guy's like actually saying some crazy stuff, and it's just gonna suck whenever I get quick like this, or quick like that. But it's part of why I'm trying to keep my speed slow, because I know if I don't, I can talk 1,000 miles an hour. And that's why I stumble a lot when I read, because I want to read as quickly as I can, but my brain skips ahead, puts words that weren't there, and then I'm like, oh, that wasn't what it said, and I want to make sure that I'm actually presenting to you what the articles or information I'm presenting actually is saying, right? Unless it's something like we did with the crypto facilities document. That was me having read that a few times over, because it was rather complex, and the mathematical equations in that threw me, and I don't actually fully understand the time frame. I'm just extrapolating the time frame, right, based upon the non-mathematical language in it. So that is admittedly potentially not just set to a day. It might be like to a week or something like that, which might explain why we're seeing this being extended a week, right? There's this is already becoming a long video, but the point was, again, there will always be people that doubt you, and that's why you gotta push through it. Because if you don't push through the doubt of yourself first, then you have to push through the doubt of others. And then once you get past the doubt of others, that's when you learn to actually become a truly persistent individual, and somebody that is driven to whatever means to achieve whatever it is that you're set out to achieve, right?
You know, there are American heroes who don't like this idea. Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight in the way that you're developing it.
Now is the time to overrule this administration's pledge to mediocrity.
It wouldn't be a Jade Martian video without an ad, right? But you gotta love Brave Browser paying me to have their pop-ups. But back to the point. You realize that not everybody has the best morals at heart.
You know, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. You know, I wish they would come and visit and see the hardware that we're doing here.
Sometimes the very people you looked up to let you down. And that's something to keep in mind too. Because a lot of times we want to put the people that we follow on a pedestal far above us. And we tend to forget that those people are just people. We're all capable of mistakes, of misjudgment, of making, a mistake. And I hope that everybody out there is able to keep that in mind and really pay attention to the people that they do follow, because I'm sure that you will notice that many of them will be apologizing to you if they have been spreading anything in regards to this, simply because they want to make sure that you know that they do have your best interests in mind, and that they, just like you, have been led astray.
They inspired you to do this, didn't they?
Yes.
And to see them casting stones in your direction.
It's difficult.
But sometimes you just need to distance yourself to see things more clearly. And that's couldn't be more applicable to our situation here, right? Because while nothing major is going to happen on June 6th, like, again, many of you listening to this still are perhaps still in distress about, keep in mind that there is still an unimaginably bright future for XRP. It has the most amazing potential of any cryptocurrency in the space that I've attempted to even get involved with, and I've explored pretty deep in the top 200, right? I have even touched a fair few in the top 300, and nothing excites me more than this project. So, please, don't worry that you're not going to be a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, or whatever, however many hundreds of billions of thousands of XRP you have right now, or how few you have. If you have a few, be happy. You have a chance still to get more. And you shouldn't wait for a lower low to go buying. Just buy. Every time you have the urge to buy, buy. If you really want to get a good deal, do what's called dollar cost averaging. And that's where you buy a portion of XRP either every day. You break up how much you want to spend over the course of a month and you break it up over every day. Or, if that's too difficult, do it once a week, right? The same day of every week, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, whatever day it is for you. If that doesn't work, just do once a month, the first of the month, the last day of the month. I like to typically do mine after each payday, before the week even goes through, so that I have my XRP put in before I ever even have the chance to spend what could have been my future, right? This is a long-term investment for me. So if we see the price not do much impressiveness for the next few years, you can still expect me to be here making content, because I know that we're still going, that the greatest performing asset of the next decade will absolutely be XRP. I am 100% confident in that at this point in time. That may change if some black swan event strikes and obliterates XRP, or Ripple Labs really, right? Because XRP is solid. It has no competition, because as we spoke of before, we need to be focusing on the ecosystem, right? So, once again, don't be looking so close. Just take some time, take a little distance. Step back and see that it doesn't matter that if it's not next week, because it's going to come sooner than any of us are going to actually be prepared for. And that's the truth. So, that's the only part of the video I want to show, is the very first minute, because I feel that that was the most relevant part of that video for you, the XRP investor that is now watching my video here on YouTube, right? If you've enjoyed my video today, please hit that like, smash that subscribe, and ring that bell so that you can receive as rational and balanced views as I can potentially create for you, in the hopes that we can both determine just how much potential there is in the future of this asset that we are both invested in, right? So, I've been Jade Martian, and I look forward to seeing you on Mars.